everyone, welcome back. My name is Anya, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how my husband and I paid under $100,000. Yes, that's right, under $100,000 in school loans in just 1 year. Time, we had just completed our master's degrees, and Santiago took a part-time job in his field of study, and I had just started as a financial advisor. While our pay was not much and the mountain of debt that we faced was massive, we definitely knew that prioritizing paying down this debt was not only critical but urgent. Here are the steps that we took to tackle this monster. Teamwork. It had to be a goal for both of us. Once we knew we were on the same page and our why was actually mutual, then we knew we could really make a lasting impact on this goal. Once we had both graduated and our loans came due, we both knew it was go time. We did not intend to drag this along for years and add massive amounts of interest to our already enormous amount of debt. This was definitely a very easy step for us because we were both very excited to start the process of dissolving these shackles and start plowing away at getting all of this debt done with. Second step was to get organized, and I would argue that this is actually, in our case, the hardest step in the process. As I mentioned to my husband last night, my intentions of recording this video, I had the opportunity to reminisce with him about what was really going on in our minds while we were going through this process. And it allowed us to kind of put ourselves back there and really identify and pinpoint some of the major pain points of this specific step. He mentioned being scared to see the total. This is actually a super common fear and one of the main reasons why people do not face paying down their debt head on. It's kind of like when you're watching a scary movie and you close your eyes during those parts that make you way too scared to watch. Except in real life, as terrifying as it might be, if you do not know what you're up against, there is absolutely no chance of defeating it. This is why you have to grab the bull by the horns. I actually use Excel. It's definitely very time consuming to grab everything, put it together, and track everything that you owe. But at the end, it definitely pays off. The information that we gathered was loan name, so who is the entity that you actually owed, the amount of the loan, the interest rate, when is the payment due, and what is the minimum payment. Once we had all of that information in one place, it was time for step number 3, which is to draw out an actual action plan. So I actually like to start with the end in mind, and we both knew that this was something that we wanted to get rid of in 1 year or less. So we figured out what the total amount was. We added some estimated amounts for interest rates over that 1 year period. We divided that by 12, which was 12 months in a year. And then we started to know specifically what we needed to pay on a monthly basis to tackle down all that debt in the allotted time frame. Step number 4 was definitely to prioritize making sure that we were paying down the loans. So this meant that we had to get on a super tight spending plan that allowed us to just throw as much money as we could into these loans on a monthly basis. This meant that some of our non-necessities had to be completely cut out of our spending plan, and even some of our actual necessities had to be scaled back. Automatic payments were still in place. This meant that even if we did not stick to the plan, those payments would be received on a monthly basis. In addition to that, we paid the highest amount that we possibly could every single month to the highest paying interest rate loan. And we did this consistently month over month. We tracked every payment, counted down every month, and while this was definitely a huge undertaking, we were definitely so excited to see our progress month over month. And step number 5, this was our last and final step. Towards the very end, we were so close we could feel it. And so we started discussing the possibility of just throwing about 90% of our emergency fund into just completely eliminating that debt. This was actually the key that allowed us to finish paying off our school loans in 10 months. This was the right thing for us to do, but it may not be the right thing for everyone to do. In our case, we didn't have any children, we were both relatively in good health, and we both had secure jobs. So we felt that applying our emergency fund to paying down and completely eliminating the rest of those loans made absolute sense for us. We knew that going ahead and rebuilding that emergency fund would be something that we would immediately tackle right after finishing paying off these loans without continuing to tag along some extra interest. Now, why didn't we actually start with the emergency fund? We definitely didn't know how long it would take us to actually pay down the loans. We knew we had great intentions, but we didn't know for sure. So we definitely wanted to hold that card until the very end and then throw it in the game. So after it was all said and done, we paid almost $90,000 in school loans in just under a year. I feel like we grew from it. I feel like we definitely were able to tackle this together, get rid of it. We felt so free, so invigorated by the fact that, hey, we could actually do this. I'm happy to report that we did, in fact, grow back our emergency fund. Thank goodness nothing actually happened that we needed to dip into our non-existing emergency fund for a few months there, and everything was fine. So now we are completely debt-free, and we actually do live our lives in a way that allow us to maintain debt-free status. There are things that normally people will just go ahead and charge that we definitely don't. Things that we definitely know we should budget for and save for in order to minimize the amount of interest that we're paying on things that are really, trivial in nature. I think this is so super important because money is a huge pain point in a lot of marriages. So completely eliminating that from the table gives us a lot better chances of getting along nicely. So there you go. This is how we actually paid off just under $90,000 in under 1 year, 10 months to be exact. So are you done paying your student loans? I hope this video gave you some ideas as to what you can do to actually tackle that monster. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not already. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.